Hello guys, today I'm going to explain you how can we solve this problem from Leetcode's May challenge. The problem statement says that we are given two sequences of integers, and what we need to do is to draw a line from array 1 or sequence 1 to sequence 2. We can only draw a line from one element to other element only if these two elements are same. So for example, here 1 should only touch to 1 and this 4 can only touch their line can be drawn only from this 4 to this 4. Also it is written that a line should not be intersecting, like we cannot draw a further line from here to here. So we can if there we could have, instead of drawing from 4 to 4, we could have also drawn for 2 from here, from this 2 to this 2. So what we need to find is the maximum number of connecting lines that we can draw in this way. So let's see how we can solve this. Let's see this example here. So here each color represent a unique number. So for example, we can say this color yellow represents a different number than the color green. So all these numbers, all these boxes here are representing same color, like this one and this one. So one approach that someone can think of is to try and go greedy, like for each box here we can try to find the matching color box here, and then try to increase this index to this one, and then from this particular sequence we try to go further away if there is any other box, or we can try to go from here and try to find the first box here, and then just increase the indexes for both of these sequences and then go ahead. So if that would be the case, we will be able to we would be blocking this particular sequence by these many elements. So we will not be able to choose any of these elements for any further line, because the line should not be intersecting. So this illustrates that we should not go greedy in this case. Then what shall we approach? Let's see. So in case when we are not going greedy, we should try to find all the possible ways we can form the lines such that none of the lines are going to intersect each other, and then we will find the best answer out of all these possible scenarios. So how we are going to find all the possible cases? So initially let's assume we have two iterators, one I and other j, and they both are pointing to the beginning of these sequences. So what are we going to do? We are going to compare the elements at these index and see if they are matching or not. Like in this example we don't see that they are matching. So what are we going to do? In that case we have an option of either increasing this particular index or this particular index. So what we can see here is that let me try to enter some elements here. So the answer here would be let's say we have I comma j at this particular position. So answer here would be the maximum of answer that we can find from by increasing the ith index by 1 and keeping the jth index at the same place, or we can just keep the ith position at the same place and increase the jth index by 1. So this is the recurrent solution in case if we see that the a of I is not matching with b of I. Let's see what happens if they match. So in case when these two the values at these two iterator are going to match, for example in this one, let's say if our iterator were at this particular position at any point of time in our recursion, what we are going to do is we will try and like these values are matching. So the best answer that we could get from here is to just have just to increase both of these pointer to the next element and add this add 1 to our answer. So if a of I is going to match our b of j, in that case or f of I comma j should be 1 plus f of, we are going to increase both of these iterators, that means both of the indexes, to the next, and then we will try to find out the answer. So we could easily see that trying out all these options is going to give us a very high time complexity, which is not going to pass the test cases. I mean this given within the given constant time. So what shall we do? As we can see, there can be different branches which are branches in this recursion, I mean in this recursive approach. So and these branches are going to look similar at some point of time. So we can say that they are going to overlap at any point of time. We can try and draw the tree for these I and j, and we would see that there are cases when we are going to see I comma j at multiple places. So we can say that we have an overlapping subproblem situation. So what we can do here is we can try to memorize our answer by keeping a dp table where we are going to keep track of any answer that we have calculated previously and try to use that one in the further cases when we see the similar indices like similar state. So as you can see, I have already solved this problem. Let me go through my code and explain what I have done. So I have initialized a dp table of size 509 cross 509 as given length of each sequences is set to be at max 500. Also I have kept track of if the dp table is already filled initialized or not with -1. So as soon as I have initialized this code block will never run again. So what I'm checking is if I have already reached my end of any of these block, in that case I am not going to get any other answer or any other extra line which can be formed. Otherwise I will check if I have already calculated this answer by doing a lookup into our dp table, then we can simply return that. And if this is for the first time that I have seen this particular state, then in that case I am going to continue and do my calculation. So initially what I would do is I will assume that I don't have any answer, that I'll initialize my answer with minimum amount that I can get, and then I'll, as I described, then I'm going to check is if the current index if the value at the current index for the sequence A and the value at the current index for the sequence B are matching. Then what I'm going to do is we can get the best answer by drawing a line from IDX to JDX and then recursively check for the next elements in both the sequences. And if they are not going to match, then we are just going to increase the index for one and keep the other one static, like don't increase the other one, and then see which one gives the best answer. So as we can see that once we have found the answer, we are going to store it into our dp table and give our answer. Alright, let's submit and try if it works. It's waiting. Alright, it's accepted. So thanks for watching this video, guys.